Smell like you farted.
Where'd you move here from? Dumbsville?
Yo, I hit the jeweler, got some goals. I sold a little weed, but I could never sell my soul. And when I'm in LA, you find me out a little soap. Come a vocal with my ramen, I'ma need another bowl. Let's go.
Look, I've got this.
Mommy milkers, big mommy milkers, big huge milkers, and huge big milk.
Well, boys, we're finally here. The end. The grand finale. The final meme. This is the end of the road. The end of an era. This is the final Alpha and Omega movie. And you know what? It's kind of been an emotional journey. I can't really describe how insane the past 6 months have been, but it's been crazy. But yeah, this is the one. The final chapter, as of now. The one that will be there to answer all of our questions. So will this movie be any good? No, it's awful. So our film opens with more landscape shots. Because you know, it wouldn't be an Alpha and Omega movie without boring landscape shots. But now I'm pretty sure that this right here is a still image being artificially in post zoomed in on and panned. We then get the title, Journey to Bear Kingdom. We then get this picture, which is clearly concept art. And we are reintroduced for the 7th time to our spawns of Satan. And they're doing royalty things, I guess?
Subjects of the Forest Kingdom, we are the Dukes of the Western Forest.
Way to not be pretentious, boys.
Princess Claudette will soon arrive.
Greetings, my kind subjects.
I suggest a political uprising.
Hark! Where is my Prince Fleet?
Shut the fuck up!
So Sonic Recolor Simp is here.
Of awesomeness.
And then stuff happens. And then the porcupine comes out and does funny stuff.
Nobody's laughing!
I give you Brent, the Bear King.
So the funny bear comes out and somehow looks worse than the previous movies. I don't know how they continue to make these movies look worse, but somehow they made this movie uglier.
Brent, we can't play Animal Kingdom if you don't play the role correctly.
Yeah, Brent, go fuck yourself.
Game over. Did you know I was a gamer? So much for practicing for the Queen Bear's arrival.
Arrival? You don't want to do a second take on that? Also, by the way, aren't the bears like bad guys? I know this franchise has a pretty awful bear lore, but they just somehow seem to make it worse.
Speaking of royal, look, the royal messengers.
Those are just regular birds. What's happening? The bear then mentions his bird phobia.
Oh no, my bird phobia.
And it's just never brought up again. They just really didn't give a shit, did they? Cut to some caribou.
Don't they know glamour when they see it?
That's how important that scene was. Cut to the birds. So they arrive at a tree, and they meet a squirrel who is Scottish.
Bear Queen and Princess Cornu are coming?
Didn't you fucking touch me, you posh prat?
And the squirrel's all like, okay, you cunts. Have you fucking heard of these nuts? We then cut to a still image from the opening, and we see 4 bears. One of them with the worst hair I've ever seen in a movie. Oh, and the worst part, they're British! Ew!
Are you not excited for your first state visit to the Eastern Forest?
Nature tends to favor asymmetry.
And then the bodyguard bears are all like,
Your Majesty, we've almost reached our destination.
and I'm sure this guy with the big eyebrows won't be the villain or anything.
It is a shame this region has fallen into the paws of rogue wolves.
£19 in video game currency. Amongst you, who would like it?
We then cut to the creatures about to bow or whatever, and we see a bunch of recolors of the funny geese. Cut to the bears again. They're now ready to walk down into the forest, and all the creatures bow before them. And the queen is walking, and the animals celebrate in really bad animation.
The Nutters of the Eastern Forest proudly present... Nuts!
Did I write this fucking movie?
Did you hear that, boys? She said my name. Beast!
Face.
I don't fucking get it! Based? Based on what?
And then the bear meets the wolves.
Hello, young wolves.
Hello, Your Highness.
And that's about it. But also, the bear knows who Kate and Humphrey are, apparently.
And your parents are Kate and Humphrey. I met them once. Lovely wolves.
Even though it's already established that bears are a threat in this universe. And not to mention, in 7 and 8, I guess the adult bears just talk now. So either A, there's a slowly rising underground monarchy of peaceful bears.
I'm not surprised you've never heard of them. Very few are aware of their existence,
even among those with code word clearance.
B, the adult bears have been slowly evolving to the point where they can speak wolf English. C, they could speak English and have a society this entire time. They just chose to be assholes. Or D, the person writing this didn't give a shit and was more focused on filling his pockets with money and his nose with coke. Anyways, so more shit happens and that's about it.
Nigga, what the fuck?
And now the princess is here, I guess. And the caribou's all like,
we're here at the welcoming ceremony.
who are you even talking to? You're animals in the woods! So the one bear starts simping for the princess.
Jeez.
You're a simp! And then,
Do you tweet?
No, but I chirp.
This is the worst fucking franchise. So then the queen bear starts talking.
Meet my modern daughter.
As opposed to the past daughter.
Princess Konyu.
But then some rogue wolves are following them. So they run down the hill and they begin to attack. The princess is then escorted out and she drops her crown or something. I don't care. I just want to get this video done. So the pups come in and the mama bear's all like, oh, you need to get out of here. But the pups are all like, our characters say we have to do something. And the queen's all like, protect my daughter then. So they go and do that, I guess. And then there's a fight scene.
Oh, nigga!
And then the birds are all like,
alert the king that we have been attacked.
and yeah, that's about it. Cut to the Bear Kingdom. Ruled by King doesn't fit the art style of the movie. How much do you want to bet they just used realistic bear model.obj? I mean, look at this shit. This was not a model made for the movie. This is a motherfucking Red Dead Redemption 2 asset. So anyways, there's a bear talking scene and that's about it.
Send a message to our allies, the Western Wolves.
But they aren't your allies. You tried to eat them in the first movie.
Ask for Winston.
Hey, I know who that is. Cut to the pups being chased by the rogue wolves. There's a big old chase scene and then the wolves fall over and the princess bear is all like,
very smart, Stinky. An obstacle course will slow them down.
but like, come on, realistically, it wouldn't be that hard to avoid them. Like, look at this guy. He's literally allowing himself to fall into this log. These wolves have the intelligence of modern Assassin's Creed AI. Anyways, so the porcupine does a thing, and at first the wolves are all like,
Oh, look, a porcupine was so afraid.
whoa, guys, I wonder what will happen next. So, in a shocking turn of events, the porcupine defeats them, but there's still one more to go. And then Claudette's all like,
I've learned a lot of things from my mother, too, like a spin out. Make him eat dirt. Literally.
so they do the spin out, and that's about it.
Oh, yeah. Another one bites the dust.
Cut to the wolf house. We see Karen Wolf talking to the birds.
Winston, royal birdies from the King Bear are here.
And so Winston walks out and is all like,
The queen bear was attacked by rogue wolves.
and so they leave to help, and that's about it. Cut to Caden Humphrey, 18 minutes into the movie. I'm sure glad there aren't 3 annoying characters who hijacked this franchise. And Caden Humphrey are literally just drinking water. I'm not kidding you.
Now that's refreshing.
There are people who tolerate this.
Cool mountain sure hits the spot.
And then they hear the City 17 alarm and head back home, I guess. Cut back to home, where apparently Winston didn't actually go anywhere, but who the fuck cares because the pups are home. And so they go inside and introduce themselves to the princess. I don't give a fuck anymore. Oh, by the way, remember Fleet? Yeah, he's in this movie. And he was here the entire time. But if you forgot, I forgive you, because I forgot too. Because even though he had that radical intro, not only does he do nothing throughout the entire movie, but he also says nothing throughout the entire movie.
Speaking of the queen, where is she?
And disappears entirely from this point onwards. So why is he in the movie? He literally serves no purpose whatsoever. They literally introduced an entire character and did literally jack shit with him. Oh yeah, so I'm the ass for not thinking the series is awesome. A series that will abandon a character immediately after introducing them. Yeah, but you're a fucking ass. The Alpha and Omega series is awesome. Fuck you.
Eve, what are you doing?
It's called a
Nobody's laughing!
The pups saved my life. They were kind, brave, and selfless.
Can the writers not suck their own characters' dicks for 1 minute? But then the funny geese come in, and they simp and fight over this one bird character because they're in love with her. And it's a hysterical riot, I assure you.
Yeah, he's French, if you count Montreal.
Cut to the Bear Queen, who is now saved, I guess? Which leads to a flashback of her getting saved?
And let's give it up for the other caribou.
Why do we need this? What? Could they just not tell the story normally? Why is there a flashback scene? This ain't exactly Pulp Fiction. Why do they have a somewhat non-linear storyline? What's even happening? Oh, and it turns out these two bears are evil the whole time. Man, I wonder if someone in this video at the timestamp 328 predicted that. But then the evil wolves see them, so there's a big old chase scene. Whoa. But then the squirrels bite their legs, I guess. And the queen does the Mortal Kombat moves, I guess.
She is definitely the queen.
What? But then they're surrounded by more evil wolves. But thankfully, Kate and Humphrey Deus Ex Machina themselves into the story. And they brought with them some more wolves. And the bad guys pussy out and run away. And that's about it.
Oh, that was easy.
We saved $5 extra on the animation budget. So they all leave and that's about it. Cut to the Bear Kingdom. So the King Bear forms an army of about 30 people. And gives a speech on Come Mountain. And the kings are like, they want to take away our Fortnite cards.
This cannot and will not happen.
So now a big battle's about to break out. But meanwhile, the evil bears come in. And they're all like, oh, it's dangerous, king. But apparently this guy instantly knows they're traitors simply because they have no battle wounds. So the evil wolf eats him. And this guy's about to die. So the king bear comes in and tries to save him. But then they get straight up murked.
Poor king. Poor Louis.
Welcome to episode 2 of Ripping Off the Lion King.
I like the roar of that.
Nigga, shut the hell up.
Meanwhile, Humphrey, Kate, and the Bear Queen sneak in, and that's about it. Cut back to the wolf home. I don't know what it's fucking called. The Princess Bear wakes up and is all like, for a contrived reason, I believe my mother is alive. So she sneaks out. The pups then wake up and discover she's missing. So they sneak out with her because this is an Alpha and Omega movie, and it wouldn't be one if they didn't sneak out. And yeah, that's about it. Cut to Queen Bear and Kate and Humphrey, who are formulating an infiltration plan.
The rogue wolves will soon be arriving.
Wow, strong women.
What?
Hello? Base department?
Cut to some bears, I guess. They're walking around and then they meet the squirrels from earlier.
And I'm best.
The princess and the pups then come out, and the bears bow all in the same animation, and they all team up, and that's about it. Cut to the bad guys, who are gloating about how evil they are, because that's subtlety. And then they,
Let's get a beat in there. A 1 and a 2.
My name's Jester.
Nigga, what the fuck?
Yeah, so Humphrey's in this disguise now, and is somehow the most obnoxious he's ever been.
And look, 2 bears and a 44.
So in his court jester disguise, he tries to put on a dance for them, I guess?
I've got clown dancing, a bit of mime, and even MJ.
Oh. Humphrey does not know who Michael Jackson is. Are we clear on that? It cut to the pups, they hide or something, and that's about it. Meanwhile, the king bear is apparently alive. I would call this incredibly cliched and criticize it, but I just don't care anymore. Meanwhile,
power. Nigga, who's got it? Who does it?
I don't think I have any words for this. For the first time, I'm speechless.
All I see is Dad dancing around in a funky costume. And he's rapping? I see what Dad's doing. He's pitting the pitiful against each other.
Okay, here's what's going on. So Humphrey, using his fire raps, is making the bears and wolves jealous of each other. Trust me, it makes about as much sense as me trying to explain it.
Power, power, power.
This somehow kinda works, as the evil bear and the evil wolf have an argument, but is ultimately pointless as they're ambushed anyways.
In the name of the sovereign bear kingdom, charge!
There's a giant war and that's about it. Cut to King Bear. He goes up to the evil bear and is all like, you see, evil bear, you don't understand. Being evil is evil. There's then a fight scene, Metal Gear Solid 4 ending, and then the one bear grabs this wolf, and the king bear grabs the evil bear and fucking yeets him off. And they do the exact same thing with the evil wolf. Like, these bad guys got straight up murdered. They got executed, bro. They ain't fucking around.
You see, rogues? This is what cooperation really looks like.
And failure to comply will result in public execution.
No, fuck off.
So the evil wolves get locked up in the place where the dinosaurs were in the 6th movie. Glad to know assets aren't being reused at all again. It cut to a celebration. So the king bear's all like,
I hereby dub ye Duke Stinky.
Sounds like the dump I just took. And then Humphrey's all like,
let's celebrate. these bitches go crazy. I walk in the mall, they go crazy. I walk in the mall, they go crazy.
So yeah, there's a whole dance number that lasts over half a minute, and then the pups are all like,
Hey guys, just imagine, we went from playing Animal Kingdom to being nobility.
they then do the Fortnite dance, and then the movie ends.
It's done. Yes, Mr. Frodo. It's over now.
Yeah, that was really awful. Like Alpha and Omega 7, though, this one is really a nothing movie. Yes, the animation is bad, but it's expected at this point. Yes, the story is awful, but the franchise has already reached its lowest point. At this point, the franchise itself is meandering around. You know how there are franchises that run out of good ideas? Well, this franchise has run out of bad ideas too. And no, there are no explanations on the confusing bear lore. But if you really thought they were gonna do that, I don't know what to tell you. But now, after watching all 8 movies, I can officially say this. This is the worst franchise known to man. The first film is, at best, a mediocre and obnoxious kids movie that I still absolutely hate for being a pandering furry mess. And even the film that is, in my opinion, the best in the franchise is really only a 5 out of 10 movie. Everything else is a half star. Of course, to this day, there still is no Alpha and Omega 9. The studio behind the first 5 films, Crest Animation, have long since closed their doors, and the current studio, Splash Entertainment, have been milking Norm of the North movies, which we will get to. There was a fake leak for an Alpha and Omega 9 Tropical Vacation, but the leak turned out to be fake. I can't make this shit up. But the franchise has long since been dormant. Will there be a 9th entry? Who knows? But if there is, you know where to find me. Thank you all for watching, and I hope you have a good night.
It's been a long day without you, my friend.
Fuck you in the lanes you came with. Me and you ain't on the same shit. You ain't in my lane, bitch. Nah, throw that shit in fifth. Rollie on my wrist. Ay, baby, you a star. I'm my only wish. I'm counting blue hundreds on too money. Ay, and my little bitch, she too lovely. Yeah, hanging up and calling me right back. Ay, baby, why you calling me like that? Yeah, getting high with the seat laid back. Baby, gon' relax, yeah. Hey, they don't know the half, yeah. No matter what happened, I got your back. Baby, that's the facts, yeah. That's the facts, yeah.
You're so supreme.